Hello! Most of you know me as Lori Klindera, G2's wife. Today I'm going to share something that makes my chest swell with pride about my husband. For over 3 decades, G2 and I have walked side by side. Most of you know us as Lori and G2, partners in life, a real estate team in Phoenix since 1992, and a family. I've seen him in many roles: a loving father, a proud grandpa, a disciplined Air Force sergeant, a dedicated Coldwell Banker realtor, helping veterans find their way home, and a man who refuses to quit when he sees a foundation that needs fixing. I've watched him take on the giants in Washington, D.C. as the legislative director at large for VAREP. I remember that day at the Toyota dealership in 2018 when he realized a buried flaw in the Blue Water Navy Act threatened the housing security of 95% of military families. He didn't just complain. He and his team of volunteers fought until they successfully rewrote the pay-for language of that bill, saving the VA home loan program for everyone. But I have never seen him more driven or more concerned than he has been while writing The Algorithm of Violence. This book wasn't born in a library or a law office. It was born right here in our living room, watching the world change through our digital feeds. G2 began to see patterns that others were missing. As a real estate professional, he understands structural integrity. He began to see that the structural integrity of our national conversation was failing. He saw how algorithms were being used to bypass our logic and plug directly into our deepest fears, creating what he calls fractured emotional envelopes. He saw the lone wolves being influenced by stochastic rhetoric, and he knew he had to troubleshoot the algorithm of violence just like he did the housing laws. Perhaps the most difficult part of this journey for both of us was when the book's theories became a biological reality in our own home. In December 2025, I was diagnosed with lung cancer. G2 sat with me through every CT scan, brain MRI, and PET scan, and every doctor's appointment. I'll never forget when the radiologist showed us how my adrenal glands were lighting up like neon lights on the Vegas Strip from the sheer stress of the threat I was facing. G2 didn't just see a medical report. He saw the biological receipts of what happens when the human body is pushed into a permanent state of threat mode. He realized then that the words being blasted across the internet aren't just opinions. For the most vulnerable among us, they are a physical assault. They are the match being lit in a room full of gasoline. G2 is a 100% disabled veteran who has already given so much to this country. He isn't asking us to shred the Bill of Rights. He is asking us to be the responsible architects of our digital world. Following the legacy of his previous works, like his heartwarming children's book, Whiskers of the Heart, and Stolen Ground, a book that uncovers 200 years of social injustice built into the Fifth Amendment of the Bill of Rights, this new book is his mission statement. He is calling for a 9th pillar, a new way to look at speech that respects freedom while refusing to ignore foreseeable harm. It is his strategic map for saving the American experiment from an algorithm that profits from our division. I have seen the heart and the forensic discipline he has poured into every page. I believe his message is exactly what our house needs to survive the storm. I'm Lori Klindera, and I can't wait for you to read what my husband has uncovered.